And maybe not a lot of people are going to agree with me, and that's fine. I think everyone likes different things. But on the short story that we just got, I've been thinking about this quite a bit. I like the short story. I think it was really nice. It didn't have massive sort of spoilery moments in it. It didn't feel like it was just extravagant and almost indulgent to the point of you know, making one want to barf. It was just a really nice moment. Except all of the important people from World of Warcraft or from Azeroth is invited to this wedding, except for the champion of Azeroth. The player is not invited to the wedding. Nowhere in the short story is the player even mentioned as being invited. Now, you could argue, well, the player was invited, just not mentioned, if you want to RP that. But, you know, it would have been nice if the champion of Azeroth was at least present at some point, even as just a literary tool to include the players. But more even than that, I would have loved to play this in the game. You know, and you could have made it a completely optional quest line. Something that it doesn't have to be done. No one has to do it. It is just 15 or 20 minutes of in-game cutscenes with the wedding, you know, and the player walking up to Thrall, for example. Imagine going up to Thrall and being able to talk to Thrall about the stuff that's just happened over the last 2 years and hearing how he and Agra is doing and how things are playing out. Can you imagine just how cool that would have been? Just a bunch of conversations, speaking to Rathian, and then maybe at the end of it, you're invited to the to Wormray Spire to actually witness the dragons returning back to the Dragon Isles. No combat, not even against Grim Totem. Zero combat whatsoever. It is just a nice little story mission for players that actually care about the story. No voice acting either. You don't even have to have voice acting. I mean, nice if they did voice acting, but that costs a lot of money. If it was just straight up text, I think a lot of players would have actually enjoyed playing through that moment. And it would obviously have felt a lot better than, you know, being excluded from it, insofar as we're not even written in the book, bro. We don't even exist there, which is really sad. We're just a mindless tool for these people. Abaddon, yes, but we're not, though, right? We are the champions of Azeroth. And if you're going to invite all of the... It really does feel sometimes as if World of Warcraft really exists in these two universes that have zero crossover. You have the champions and all the things that the champions do, but then you have the elites. So the elite champions of Azeroth, the actual named champions of Azeroth, and whatever they do, we have zero impact on that. Their actions impact us, but our actions do not impact them at all. They don't even make mention of us. How often have you read one of the World of Warcraft books where the player, or the champion of Azeroth at least, have been included in the story? Almost never. You do wonder to yourself, well, if I'm the champion of Azeroth, would I not be included in this at some point? Like, would my presence here not be an important presence to have? So yeah, I really wish that Blizzard would just start including the player, you know, realizing that the player really is the most important entity within the universe, and not because, you know, without the player, the universe can't exist. Well, technically that is true. Without players, there is no World of Warcraft, but also because we play such an integral part in how every single story plays out, how all of the happenings in Azeroth happen. To not include us is almost a slap in the face. And I think it would be better if we were included. Anyways, that's the end of my fucking rant on that.